And welcome to the PPVG Gamescast. My name is Steve.
Rich.
Mo.
And we are the passionate playing video gamers. In today's episode, we're going to ask the question, what type of gamer are we? We're also going to talk about the gameplay reveal of Sonic Forces on all three platforms. Yes, the Nintendo Switch is getting the third-party support that it needs as a system seller. But we're going to start out on the success of a few new IPs, such as Horizon Zero Dawn, just announced has sold more than 2.6 million units in its first 2 weeks of release. That is great to see for a new IP. Also, For Honor is the top-selling game of February 2017. Another new IP that was very successful. So based off of those numbers, what do you think so far? The new IPs, For Honor and Horizon Zero Dawn being successful. Mo, I know you picked up For Honor.
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually didn't. I thought there was going to be. I'm going to be honest. I thought there was going to be a few flaws with For Honor. I thought people would actually. I don't think it was going to be that popular. To tell you the truth, I think with Ubisoft doing what they did with Siege and listening to the current fan base and everything, trying to fix any problems, glitches with extreme patching it constantly. I think there's a new patch just about every month just to fix any problems that people are actually any complaints or problems out there. I think that's really important. It shows that they're listening, that they care about their games and they care about their fan base. And For Honor is just going in the same direction. So when people take that in, it shows that they want to invest their money into a game where the developers actually do give a shit. It's really important, and I think that helped For Honor get to where it's at right now. So I think it's really big. It's amazing to me. I love the game. I know the storyline wasn't the greatest thing, but for the multiplayer aspect of it, it's booming. I mean, people are picking it up, and I guess that's what's interesting to a lot. I think there's a big base for the multiplayer competitively. And I can see it going on to maybe being esports. It just really depends. Or
Really?
Yeah, I can see that. Because there's 1-on-1 battles and there's 2-on-2 battles. It's 4-on-4 battles. You can make something of that, Just like they did with Siege. Siege is a huge competitive esports game now. So it's really interesting.
So how did they sell you? Because it's a new IP, something we never played before. It's a new type of game. How did they sell you to purchase For Honor?
For me, I think it was the action. When I first saw the gameplay at E3, I wanted to know more. I was like, okay, this is interesting. They're not saying that, hey, this is a good reality. I know there's a lot of, people are like, oh, well, the female's armor doesn't look like that. That's not in reality. It's not real. It's a video game. You have to, they're critiquing where the armor and the boobs.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's how dare them? That's not what real armor looks like on females. I'm like, dude, they're trying to make sure that
the game's broken. The game's broken.
That's it. It wasn't something
not very immersive. That's all.
Yeah, no, it's not. But it's
or it's too immersive. I don't know how to go about this argument. I don't know.
I don't make armor for a living, so I couldn't tell you. But the customization options, when I started looking at what they're posting on their videos and so forth, when I started discovering more, I was like, I'm really interested in this, and it helped sell it when they started releasing more and more videos of the deep customization to your weapons, to your armor, to how you make your emblems, to your flags, to what represents you as a person, as a different warrior. I think that's what really sold me. I was like, oh shit, this is my customization, this is my character. Ride him into battle.
I was going to buy it until you told me that there's no real single-player campaign.
There's a campaign, it's just not long. It's not... You wouldn't buy this game for the campaign. And there's a campaign, but you go through it really quickly.
It's like a tutorial.
It teaches you each character and what, their moves, their so forth, what their weapons are.
You said you could unlock some good stuff too that you didn't have to pay for by finishing the.
Yeah. I know that there's people some people do pay to play. You don't have to. It's not something that's It's not recommended. I don't recommend it. I did really good without paying for shit. I just bought the game and then boom.
Then Horizon Zero Dawn, I know that's a game that you and I wanted to pick up exclusive to the PS4 just for timing wise because Zelda came out the same week.
Yeah.
I chose Zelda over Horizon, but I will be picking up Horizon after Mass Effect, after I beat Mass Effect. So again, a new IP, how they introduced it at E3 and how they reintroduced it at PSX. I'm just really excited for open world robotic dinosaurs. As Rich, you were talking about game trailers. How did they describe Horizon Zero Dawn?
It's honest trailers.
Oh, honest trailers.
They were saying, oh yeah, this is Tomb Raider with metal dinosaurs. So we kind of get the gist. That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
And Rich, if you had a PS4, would you want to pick up Horizon?
Yeah, the buzz behind it, the ratings, that's the kind of thing that would interest me. I like those kinds of games.
And you're a storyline guy too, so
Yeah.
I mean, it has a deep storyline behind it, from what everyone is saying. So that's what interests me is that storyline. I want to see what happens. I want to uncover the history of what is actually going on, which I think that's pretty cool that they build a whole lore behind it, and that's cool.
It's just great to see new IPs actually be successful and sell a lot of units because it's hard. Because again, we're very sequel driven.
Yeah.
Like all the games in the fall, all sequels, all known properties, all games that we played before. So it's great to see something new. And that's what intrigued me about Horizon Zero Dawn, a new open world game. It looked intriguing, the storyline, find out more about that world, the gameplay, all the video just looked incredible. Same with For Honor as well. How they sold it. I know I read it was like a fighting game, but not really a fighting game with the mechanics.
There's some strategy to it, so it reminds me of paper rock scissors, kind of like if there's a specific direction that another player is doing, you can counter block that direction, but you have to be quick. You have to pay attention to the form that character is taking, and then strike yourself. There's openings for any type of strike. You have each character has their own abilities to help you, make progress. It just really depends on if you're paying attention or not.
So they were both successful, For Honor and Horizon Zero Dawn. So what do you think will be the next big IP that is released? What's the next big new game?
That's a pretty good question. I know that we have what's called, the zombie one with the bikers, the one
Is
that
it Daybreak? Or
now I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one that they released on E3, and then thousands of
It looked like World War Z.
Yeah.
Right, in the woods.
Yeah,
All those.
but you're like the biker guy, and is it Days Gone, or is that
Might be a
Days Gone.
Yeah. Is that the
Daybreak. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about.
one? Making your own IP.
Yeah,
You're making
exactly.
your own
Daybreak.
IP.
Let's do it.
I know that Death Stranding is also going to be a new IP, and it's supposedly open.
2020 for the PS7.
Yeah, it's
is when
future. It's
released.
future. See what happens with that.
No,
But,
that's my head shake. No.
yeah, well,
I don't understand any of Kojima's ideas. I think something's lost in translation. I don't
There's
mean
not-
between Japanese and English, and
there's
between his
like-
brain and his mouth.
there's not a lot of news behind that. I mean, there's really nothing to showcase except for what he barely got the engine from.
Fetuses?
That's still
That's always a headline grabber, apparently.
a bunch of them. Swimming cracked baby dolls on the thing too. Like,
Wow, crack baby dolls. And Rich, what do you think will be the next big IP?
I don't know. I can't think of anything that's really standing out to me right now. But that's part of the fun is you don't really know sometimes because they're untested.
Yeah, no, that is true. And that's sort of the reason, as in there isn't really been announced new IPs. Like all the anticipated games for 2017 were all sequels.
yeah, like God of War, but I know they're taking a new direction with that. I don't know if I would consider that a new IP because it's still continuing.
It's a reboot.
I don't think it's a reboot. I think it's continuing off the story off of God of War 3. I know there's a lot of missing context there, and I hope they do explain something soon because, I mean, they've only left us with what we saw at E3. I know it's going to be some time for its release, but I hope they showcase something else maybe this E3. It'd be good timing. But, it was mostly sequels and prequels and whatever else.
That's part of it is they don't need to get the media behind it because that's what E3 will be for. That's when they get their notice. So
That's when I think some new IPs will be introduced is
definitely,
during
every
E3.
year.
That's the time to do it. Get the attention because it's hard to sell an IP and for it to sell well.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing, for especially for what they did with Horizon. Yeah, it just when they showed it at E3, we were pretty amazed. We're like, wow, this is going from Killzone to this. That's a big jump. That's I think a huge step because you set yourself apart from first person going to third person and then story driven. Like I know Killzone has a story, but I mean
It wasn't the focus.
it was the mechanics. Yeah, so that's a pretty big step.
The next big IP is ARMS on the Nintendo Switch. That will be the next big IP.
I saw the
ARMS.
video on that, and I was like, this looks... I don't want to say it, but it looks fun.
To that I say, all I want is a sequel called Fingers, and I can't wait for that. It's releasing right now.
I thought you were doing Fingers.
No,
Oh, no.
you're not going to get any pleasure out of that.
This game is story
You can
driven.
show me that finger again. I can sit on it. I might get some pleasure off that.
This game called
On help
Fingers.
side screen.
This game's called Fingers is story driven. The main character is Rich, and how he hates bullshit.
Yep.
Rich, maybe I can get an achievement unlocked for sitting on and spinning.
And it's called Go Fuck Yourself.
Rich must really need the money.
Yeah. As in, last night, these two guys were making up achievement points
Well, I think that's a good idea.
for
While we're having the
life,
podcast,
for life goals.
we hit certain things. Like, I was affected by the Mass Effect with the Xbox outage today. So I, for once, Amazon delivered at 10:30. I had the whole day where I couldn't play, and I couldn't log in until about 4 p.m. I finally was able to get
First
online.
world problems.
And then, of course, once I get signed in, then I have to install everything, download the 2 gig patch, get the pre-release pack loaded, all that kind of stuff. So I didn't get to start playing until about 5:15.
And then come over here to record this.
And then the
Yeah.
podcast.
It's a rough life.
Just saying. No, but I was saying that my achievement was so close yet so far.
We need a picture of Rich just doing this, and then the achievement unlocks us. Go fuck yourself.
No, you know what? If I could get like a soundboard on my phone, and every time somebody says something stupid around me, I just go ding, ding, 20 points, ding.
That's what we'll do while Mo and I will play in ARMS, the next big IP.
I don't
And
think it's gonna be the next
Rich will be in the background with his fingers
IP,
flipping us
because I'll
off.
be in the bathroom because I don't want to watch this garbage.
throwing up.
The IP that I do want to be successful is Farpoint on the PSVR. It's a huge gamble, again, to see a Halo type style game on the PSVR. I want that 6-7 hour campaign
This is one that has the new accessory too, right?
with the new accessory with the new gun. Comes out May 16th on the PSVR. That's one I hope is successful because I love the VR. I want it to be as successful as it can be. And that's the next big game on it. Again, I want it to sell more units. I think that could be a system seller to sell more units of the VR with Farpoint. So hopefully they take their time and it's not rushed for that May release. But there aren't real big games. I know someone might say Sea of Thieves on Xbox One exclusive. It's a rare. Pirate game, nothing's been shown. They're just pirates for 15-minute demo at E3. So not much has been shown about Sea of Thieves. Only time will tell if we ever get a release date. We'll probably show more at E3. So what do you think is an IP that deserved a second chance? I think Zoe has something to say about this topic.
I really don't know at this point.
So there hasn't been another game that you didn't wish had a sequel to it?
Not off the top of my head.
Rich.
Okay, so I got one that I don't know for sure, but they have announced something. But what they announced is next year they're going to announce something, and that's the mashup between Square and Marvel for their little Avengers initiative that they're working on. We don't know what it is, we don't know what form it's going to take, what type of game, what characters are involved. Is it part of the MCU, the comics, a new continuity? But I think it's a good idea because the Marvel games have... Not all of them. Avengers Alliance was really good. Some of the fighting games, the X-Men Legends was really good.
Man, I think there's a fight going on right now in the background. I don't think my dog liked that idea very much. They're doing their own Marvel. So you said next year?
Yeah, they said they're going to announce in January 2018 what their intentions are. So they had a whole press day like a month and a half ago, Marvel and Square, where they basically showed a CGI film of like Cap's shield broken and Iron Man's helmet cracked and Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, just, busted apart, like the handle's broken off and stuff. And you can hear a female voice saying, we've got to put it back together or something like that. Don't know who that character is, what it's in reference to, what the context is. Right. But Square and Marvel, it seems like it could be, and you understand, like a Kingdom Hearts kind of mashup, or at least a role-playing game done by Square with all Marvel characters.
I completely forgot about that trailer.
Yeah.
It was just
and they made a whole press day about it. Everybody thought like this might be the announcement for Phase 4 of the movies, and it wasn't.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I completely forgot. It was like it wasn't like a long trailer either. It was like
20 seconds.
20 seconds, yeah. And they just showed all that stuff. And
it was just a proof of concept kind of thing. It was not even any gameplay. You don't see any actual characters. There's no title. It's just like unannounced Avengers project.
Yeah.
More information coming in January 2018. But considering how much they have dropped the ball on that, considering how big Marvel's become in the entertainment industry, and the potential that they have with those characters, remember that's the one place other than the comics where they have the rights for all the characters. They can put Spider-Man in the Avengers. They can bring in the Fantastic Four. They can have Wolverine in the X-Men. Deadpool. They can have all of them in the same world and interact and play and build their own world, and they don't have to be held up by the movie contracts.
What is it? Deadly Alliance? Kind of like that, too? Remember that?
Avengers Alliance, yeah.
Yeah. But...
Or, no, Marvel Alliance.
Marvel Alliance.
I'm thinking the
Deadly
Facebook
Alliance.
game, Avengers Alliance,
yeah.
I used to play that, too.
Yeah,
but Marvel Alliance, and there was the two games there.
Damn cell phone games.
Civil War, yeah.
Yeah, and that was an interesting, spin-off of those games, too, because they just created a whole... Like, they took the actual stories from the storyline. I wouldn't mind seeing
their
that,
own thing,
too.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing
that,
that,
And they had
too.
branching where you could make choice A or choice B, and in fact, the ending you got to.
That's pretty cool. And also the online gameplay on that, with doing the whole storyline with friends online as a co-op, was really interesting, too. That really sold me.
Yeah, one game I might probably be in the minority is Rise, Son of Rome. It was an Xbox One launch title. It wasn't innovative, it wasn't groundbreaking, but I enjoyed the game. It was probably at the time when it launched, was probably the best graphics I've ever seen in a video game with Rise. I know Mo and I got in a debate. He thought Killzone was the best looking game.
Shadowfall was pretty. It was beautiful.
Please.
It was beautiful.
Please.
Did you even play it?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I have it. I beat it. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Call me on my bullshit.
It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous, but
Don't make him go in the room and get his trophies down off the shelf.
It was no Rise, Son of Rome. It was set in Rome. It was a hack and slash. It was more on the combos. I really enjoyed the story. But again, I could see how someone would think it was repetitive. But I think there was a great foundation to build upon to make an amazing sequel out of it. Same thing, which I was comparing Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs. Again, the first games overpromised and underdelivered. But then with that sequel, really fulfilled its promise. Assassin's Creed 2, Rich, is one of your favorites in the series?
That whole Ezio trilogy that they did. They just kept improving the formula. The problem is after that, they kind of lost their way again, and that's why they keep doing new iterations and stuff.
Which the only Assassin's Creed game I played was the first one. It's so busy in the fall after the first one, I need to get the series. I've heard nothing but great things.
Very repetitive, especially as you go towards the end. So I can see why I would get frustrated and quit too.
And I beat it. I went through, and same with Watch Dogs. I really enjoyed the game, but again, those two games got the sales. How they marketed got the sales to give them a chance to do a sequel, which some new IPs don't have the luxury to get those sales. As in, all right, let's fulfill our promise, which Rise did not get those sales when it launched on Xbox One, but I hope, it showed a foundation. My second game goes way back to 2005, Jade Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, Jade Empire. Wow.
I don't think it'll ever happen though.
Because they're too busy making other games. But did you ever play Jade Empire?
Yeah, I love that game. BioWare?
Yeah.
BioWare. There was the game sandwich between Knights of the Old Republic. So they did Knights of the Old Republic, the first one. Then they went to Jade Empire. Mm-hmm. After Jade Empire, then they went to Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So sandwiched between one of my two favorite games, of all time, KOTOR and Mass Effect, the first one. But Jade Empire was, I thought, an incredible game. The one thing I loved about it more than KOTOR is I don't like turn-based, which KOTOR wasn't really turn-based. It was turn-based in real time.
Yeah, you could do either or. I mean, you had an option.
Yeah.
But
Jade Empire wasn't turn-based.
And you could switch your
action-oriented, switch your styles. You get weapons, you get magic. I understand why they haven't revisited because they've been so busy with other properties that sell very well. IP. They did announce a new IP by March 2018, I think, by the end of their fiscal year. But if they ever get a time to go back, Jade Empire is a game, especially on the PS4, Xbox One graphics update, get a new story. Yeah. But I really love Jade Empire, but I understand why they didn't go back to it because they were busy with Mass Effect. I don't know which team does it because I know they do Dragon Age Inquisition. They've done a few Dragon Age games, so I know BioWare has been very busy doing other games and being successful. But I love Jade Empire, and we didn't get a sequel.
The way I thought it worked is it was kind of the KOTOR team kind of split, but then part of them went towards Dragon Age, which is why you still have those elements. But the fantasy fans did that, which is Jade Empire. The sci-fi fans went for Mass Effect. Don't know for sure, but I'm sure there was all kinds of different shakeups too. But.
So I think Mass Effect was a blend of Jade Empire and Knights of the Old Republic.
I can see
blended those ideas, the sci-fi, the magic, the weapons, and even expanded upon those choices that they used in Knights of the Old Republic.
Especially when you get to the second one. I think there's a lot more Jade Empire elements in that.
Yeah. So that's one game I wish does have a second chance of Jade Empire. Maybe someday they will revisit.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And Mo, I gave you some time. Is there any other games that you wish had a sequel? Or all those games were shit and they deserved not
every
to get a
single
sequel?
one of them. I hate them all.
Because you play 1,000 games a year.
No, man, I'm told you. I'm waiting for Battletoads. Like that's they have to sell
yeah,
me.
technically.
I need a good.
Technically, he was ahead of the question on this.
I want the fucking Battletoads. I don't care if it goes to Xbox. I want it.
Well, it has to.
Yeah, well,
IP.
Right, with Rare. I want that game. I wouldn't mind seeing another reiteration and a good one of what's it called, Double Dragon. I did not like the
Double Dragon 4 just came out last month.
No. Or River City Ransom. Where I want to see a new River City Ransom. Nintendo could actually, because that was a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they if they brought that back? That would be a hit on the
another
Switch.
Final Fight.
That would be awesome too.
Capcom has that. They put those characters in Street Fighter now.
Yeah, they did. Hagar and everything, but yeah, I would like to see those. A rebuild off of those classics: Final Fight, Double Dragon, River City Ransom. I would love River City Ransom for the Switch. A good action game, beat 'em up. Would be good.
I'm calling it Battletoads would be a launch game for the Scorpio.
All right.
And
Guess
you'll
I'm
be
going
buying
Scorpio. Scorpio!
I'll be happy.
So those are our thoughts, but please let us know in the comments below what you think will be the next big IP and which IP do you wish received a sequel.